But shifting focus then to India's coir sector then, and the Federation of Indian Coir Exporters Association is seeking urgent government intervention, and this is to tackle the crisis following the 50% tariff that were imposed by the United States on coir imports from India. To understand how much has the impact been on the sector and what really is the industry asking for from the government, we now have Mr. Arjun Mahadevani, President at Coir Exporters Association of India, now joining us. Mr. Mahadevani, thank you so much for taking your time out and joining us here on ET Now. First up, if you can tell us how much has the industry impacted on account of these additional tariffs? How much does Indian coir industry export to the United States as a percentage of their total production and as a percentage of their total exports?
Good afternoon. I'm Arjun Mahadevani. I represent the coir industry from Kerala. The Americans are arguably the largest buyers of coir products and all kinds of doormats and carpets from India, not just Kerala, and not just coir as a fiber. American buyers account to 40% of the entire exports from January to December, and of which from April to October falls the biggest purchase, accounting to the Christmas sales. And the August 27th tariff kick-in is perfectly timed at the time of the highest peak orders. The situation that we have been put in is more grave and serious than we faced during the COVID, because overnight our products are becoming 50% more expensive for our buyers. But another look at this is the end retail prices of the products are not going up by 50%. It is only the landed cost that is going up by 50%. And retails of most products are 3 times to 4 times the landed cost. So to the end consumer or the retail price of our products, this 50% increase translates to about 10%. So for example, a coir doormat that we sell, which probably gets retailed at $9.99 or $14.99, after the tariff will become $12.99 to $17.99. So the average consumer in the US will feel the pinch by about 10% for all products. So, but the impact really is making India incompetitive, and because our industry employs about 200,000 rural employment, of which 50% are women, the fall in demand will directly affect employment over here. So we will need to cut all our excess overheads, go into automation, because our buyers are coming back to us already asking for support. We will need to support them because nobody consumes the way the Americans consume. No matter what the governments try to do for finding new markets, we all know that America is the largest market, and the relationship between India and China does not allow us to penetrate into the Chinese market. China is the second largest market. So there is no alternative to the American market immediately. So we will need to support our buyers. So we will need to make our processes more efficient and pass on at least a bit to make sure that orders are not affected. It will be affected. 50% is a huge number. So this is directly going to affect a lot of employment across the length and breadth of Indian export industry, not just coir industry, but all the handicraft, carpet industry, jewelry. The government will need to do something more than just given vague statements of we will offer support, we will hold the export segment, because it is already happening and it is coming to effect from today. So they will need to come in with solid money influxes into the industry.
Understood. But Mr. Mahadevani, if you can tell us if you have already had any kind of conversation with the government and if they are willing to give any immediate support, at least in the next 2 to 3 odd months, is that in the works already?
2 to 3 months is too long, because we are looking at orders that are placed that are going to ship out from today, which is impacted. So we need something that should have been done already and should have come into effect from today, from the Indian government side. which has not happened. So they have said they're coming out with a lot of reforms in Diwali, which is good 2 weeks from now. And probably we don't know what is going to happen. So anything that as of today is not concrete enough for us to hold on to. And our buyers have already talked to us on supporting them. So we will need to support them without any sort of concrete backing from the government, which is very disappointing from the export side. But as an Indian, we stand with our nation in protecting our self-interest and our self-reliance. But having said that, exporters are completely dependent on export remittances, and of which America, the US market accounts for 30 to 40%, which is a big chunk. So we will need to address it and find a common ground on making it a sustainable way on tackling the situation.
Okay, and if you can tell us which other export markets is the industry eyeing? I understand you did tell us that this is not a permanent solution to this problem, but till the time we have a solution and till the time government comes up with some kind of remedy or some kind of subsidy for the industry, what will the industry be doing with the excess stock that it has?
See, it is not excess stock that we can just send it off to UK or Germany. These are specific orders, specific products ordered by Americans or specific buyers that fits into their design, their assortment. So only order cancellations will lead to dead stocks that can be liquidated elsewhere. Order delays or reduction in orders will lead to obviously reduction in production, which will lead to reduction in employment. So it is not like we are stuck with a lot of dead stock and which we are desperately trying to sell elsewhere. We are looking at huge infrastructures invested in the last 10 years because the boom of focus into India from China was very evident. It was a very significant and sustainable relationship that was built over last 10 to 15 years, and then suddenly overnight it is completely collapsed, and there is no damage control that's been done from the government side. We are all looking at huge infrastructures that we have invested into, so that we are good for the next 10 years. Our complete plants are being installed with solar, so that we are carbon neutral. The entire industry is automated to make sure we are industry 4.0 ready. So all these investments have been done so that we are ready for we are the global factory, and of which US is the biggest consumer. So
Okay.
any sort of subsidies is not going to help. Probably bringing back the old regime of MEIS or merchant export incentive schemes directly linked to export value is more than welcome. But then just offering collateral-free loans is not going to help, because we're not looking at more debts. We're looking at direct fund influction into the export community to
Understood.
hold us.
We completely get that point, and we hope that the government comes up with a solution to this in the short term. Mr. Mahadevan, thank you so much for taking your time out and joining us here
Thank
on
you.
ET Now and helping us understand the kind of problems Indian coir industry is facing on account of tariffs. But